I'm 27. I actually just came back from a backpacking trip. I got my two properties up now. They're both 5 bedrooms.
Did the bookings start coming in straight away for you?
Yeah, very quick. About 3 days, and then the first booking came in, and then within 2 weeks, first month was booked out. All of a sudden, they all just like came flooding. In the beginning, I would go in and just stand there. Am I gonna do this? And the first time I didn't actually do it. I just stood there, had a look around. How am I gonna sell this idea to someone, right? It's quite nerve-wracking if you've never done it before to start pitching. I think I did like 5.
Okay.
Yeah, but I
So
think I went to 10.
shut down, 4 times, and the 5th time you got it?
Yeah, I was initially planning to return after my travels and jump back into my previous job, but yeah, that ended up falling through. Decided, I'll just give this a shot for a bit, see how it goes. And
yeah. What's your review score?
4.92.
That's good.
So those are all 5 stars, except for one person who dropped a 4 because apparently we're too close to a main road.
I have Rohan on the show with me today. I'm so excited to have him joining me. Hey, Rohan.
Hi, Steph. It's good to be here.
Rohan has his own business, Airbnb business set up called Star-Crossed Stays. And I'd love for you to share your story with everyone.
I'm 27. I actually just came back from a backpacking trip in July.
I love that you did that.
Yeah.
That was how long had you been backpacking?
That was 8 months. So I left
8
last year in
months.
October and I came back in July.
Yeah.
But I signed up for the program in end of February, March.
Okay.
And then it's a little bit confusing.
Whilst you were on your backpacking journey.
Yeah, whilst I was still on my backpacking journey, kind of looking at options in terms of like things I could be doing.
Yeah.
And I came across James through his Instagram, like most people do.
As you do,
And
scrolling through.
Yeah.
Came across an ad.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the
Yeah.
one. The James ad. Yeah. I was like, this sounds pretty interesting. So I started following him and listening to his story and your story and your family story. And I ended up taking a shot. And it's been 4-5 months, something like that.
Yeah.
I lost track of time. I got my 2 properties up now.
Amazing.
Last one launched this month, actually, start of October.
What made you go backpacking?
It was one of those things I've kind of always had on my mind through my like teenage years of going solo backpacking seems so interesting. I thought, well, if I'm going to ever do it, I probably need to do it now. While I'm still in my 20s, it kind of made more sense for me. So I just went for it.
And before you went backpacking, what had you been doing before?
Yeah, so I had been working in tech for the last 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of getting a little bit stale.
Yeah.
So I felt like the right time to just take a step away for a bit. I was initially planning to return after my travels and jump back into my previous job, but that ended up falling through. Never really been in the real estate market, never really been into property management.
So let's talk about the first property then that you got, which was a pretty good opportunity for you for the first one.
Yeah, I'm super lucky. It's my parents' property. They happen to have one that's in Central, so right by the station. It's a 5-bedroom, quite a nice property. It did need some work because it had been worn down a little bit by the past tenants. We got all that like groundwork done first and then started looking into interior designing the property and getting the furnishing in. It took us about 5 weeks to get the first property up.
That includes like the deep cleaning, all the patch up work that you had to do, and you got a friend to help you with the interiors.
My friend is a bit of a interior design hobbyist, and
shout out to your friend.
Yeah, her name's Danley. Shout out to Danley. She's been very crucial to our success so far. I did reach out to her and asked, like, would you be interested in doing an interior design job? She had never done anything like this previously, but she was one of those people who enjoyed organization, and she thought, I'll give it a try, see what it's like, see if I enjoy it. And she did, luckily for me. And she was very good at it.
And she is amazing at it.
She's amazing. She's absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
if you need an interior designer, send me a message.
We'll leave her contact details in the description below. So 5 weeks to set up this initial property. And can we talk upfront costs? Like what was the sort of initial?
Yeah, my dad actually paid for quite a bit of the renovation stuff, which is quite normal for a landlord to take care of his property.
Yeah.
I did cover more of the interior design stuff, the furnishing and like that kind of thing. We just had an oven, so I had to buy like all the furnishings and paintings and all that other stuff.
Yeah, so what was it, 20-30K?
By the end, including like everything from linens to like mattresses to like everything, it was probably about 35.
That's for a 5-bedroom.
Yeah, that's a 5-bedroom. So
house
that's
as
a lot
well,
of
so
furnishing. That's a lot of stuff.
Not bad.
We did pretty well. A little bit of Facebook Marketplace as well.
Oh, we love Facebook Marketplace. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll find
yeah.
a good deal on there.
No, there are some very
sometimes.
good deals. Yeah.
Including artworks.
Yeah.
All sorts. Tell me about like what you're feeling and the emotions going through, getting this set up. This is your very first property, after you've done the course and you're like, okay, let's see if this is actually going to work.
I was super nervous because picking up such a heavy rent. If I was going to do it from scratch and I didn't have any connections, I would probably start with something smaller. I've only launched 2 properties and they're both 5 bedrooms and I really like doing big properties, but it's kind of heavier in terms of risk and investment. So heavy upfront cost, a little bit more time to get everything together. It was very scary.
So did the bookings start coming in straight away for you?
Yeah. So for that first property, they were very quick, luckily for me, they were very quick. About 3 days, and then the first booking came in, and then within 2 weeks, first month was booked out.
Okay.
Yeah, so it all kind of came in a big rush. And then after about 2 weeks, it got really quiet for a while, and I got really worried. But then after about another 2-3 weeks, it kind of picks up again.
What's your review score?
4.92.
That's good.
So those are all 5 stars, except for one person who dropped a 4 because apparently we're too close to a main road.
So you had this first 5-bedroom. How soon after did you get your second one?
I launched my first one pretty much 1st of August, and then my second one launched in October this month, and it started doing quite well by then. So I was semi-confident that I can keep going, and then through September I started scouting for more properties.
You're brave enough to go for a second one.
Yeah, just happened to be a 5-bedroom.
Another one. Yeah, another 5-bed.
I wasn't actually going for 5 bedrooms. I was doing a little bit of pitching for 2, 3, 4 bedrooms as well, but this is just the one that happened to say yes, and that's the one we ended up going with.
Do you think you're going to keep going with the houses, or you do want to try?
I actually really like the 5 bedrooms, and the reason I say that, one, I have less ongoing work to do in terms of organizing inquiries and that kind of thing, because there's only 2 properties, right? So regardless if it's 1 bedroom or 5 bedroom, it's still 1 property, so that's 1 turnover every X amount of days.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of less ongoing work, and it's quite good in terms of demand, in my opinion.
Okay.
I found that I can ask for some pretty good prices, and they do usually fill up.
Are you getting families or big groups?
I've actually been getting probably like 60-70% business clients.
Okay,
and they would come in with like a group of, I don't know, maybe 6 of them, and they all want their own bedroom, for example. We just happen to have 5 bedrooms. So the business clients have been doing really well.
Location-wise, you're in, like
Alexandria, very central
Surrey
Sydney
Hills.
locations.
So with your cleaning and linen and all that, have you got a team?
I have the same cleaner do both my properties.
Okay.
He has a team of about 4.
What would you say has been your biggest challenge with just getting started and set up?
I think my biggest challenge was scouting for my second property. How am I going to sell this idea to someone, right? It's quite nerve-wracking if you've never done it before to start pitching, and it's pretty hard to take a 27-year-old kid seriously who wants to Airbnb your property.
Yeah.
At the start, I was quite nerve-wracking, and I would just go in and just stand there. Am I going to do this? And the first time I didn't actually do it. I just stood there, had a look around.
How many pitches do you feel like you gave before you got that second one?
So I think I did like 5.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think I went to 10.
Shut down, 4 times, and the 5th time you got it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So like I would go if I genuinely didn't want the place, or if my nervousness and anxiety was holding me back from pitching because I was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the first few times I'd just go in, have a look around, have a quick chat with the agent, just like what's the demand like, what's the area like, et cetera, just like trying to create more comfortability. And then I got a little bit better and better, do my best to get to know them a little bit and see what they're interested in.
You want to win that agent over at the end of the day.
I'm
build relationship.
Yeah, I'm not a salesman.
Like you said.
Right.
Yeah. With getting that second property, what was the agent like?
I gave him a call the day before the public viewing. I gave him a call and I said, I don't want to waste your time, but like, would you and your owner be open to subleasing potentially. And he was like, oh, what does that mean? And then we just kind of went along with that conversation. And he said eventually, oh, yeah, maybe. Just like come in tomorrow to the viewing and we can have a quick chat about it.
How did you explain the whole subleasing situation? Because I know there's people watching, they've not started. They're like, how do you approach that conversation?
So luckily for me, I would explain to him that we would take care of the place for him. We would take care of the clientele. We would, as in guests, we would have professional cleaners come in. I would pay rent on time every week. I told him I was looking for a long-term contract in order to like cover initial startup costs and these kind of things, and he was quite understanding. The good thing about 5 bedrooms I find is, one, people seem quite respectful, as in less tendency to parties, I think. Because my clients have been either business clients or quite large like family gatherings, there haven't been any issues in that regard. I haven't had any damage or anything particularly go wrong so far. It's only been 3 months.
Don't say so far. I hope you never experience any of that. I hope so too, yeah. As long as you put, you've got your noise alarms and ring cams and you've got the minimum night stay and all of that. What's been the most helpful part of being a part of the community with all of this, with your journey?
For me, it's definitely mentality thing of like getting over that mental barrier of progressing forward. So for example, when I was looking to extend to my second property, it took me a while to even go to the like viewings and do that, because I was like, what am I going to do, what am I going to say, etc. And then I would just start looking up the previous coaching call like recorded sessions, and then with titles things like how to pitch or like how to approach or how to go from deal analysis to locking your deal, your contract, or these kind of titles. And then I'll just listen to a bunch of those, just like for like a couple of days. I just did that. I just listened to those back to back to back, and then okay, so like this coach likes to approach this way, say these kind of things, this coach likes to do this kind of thing, and putting together a few of those elements, I was able to like build enough confidence. Okay, so this is actually a good, I figured out like pretty decent approach, at least, that I think suited me, and then went from there.
Have you got anything else in the pipeline?
Yeah, so right now I'm just waiting for more of the startup cost to be covered so that I can afford to expand the portfolio.
To get your next one. Because you need to go through the low and high seasons.
Yeah, exactly. Probably need like a year to get a good feel for how much you can make a year round.
And you've got your processes for, God forbid, you get those nightmare guests. Yeah. You've got an action plan, like ready to go.
Call like security
just in
team.
case. Like security on speed dial if needed.
Hopefully that doesn't come to.
Yeah, you hope it never comes to that, but you just never know what kind of guests you're going to get. And you just have to always at least have that plan in place. So for guys, girls, particularly around your age, what would be your advice to them, if they're sat there thinking, I've been thinking about this Airbnb thing for a while, like particularly rental arbitrage, and whether or not I could make it work, make it happen. Yeah. What would be your tips or advice that you could give to those people?
What would my tips be? I would definitely say go for it. And I would also probably start smaller than I did, so it's less anxiety inducing. But I think if you do enough research and you listen to enough coaching, go through the course, I think you will be able to build enough confidence to take that step. Is this even profitable, for example? Or
that's good.
Yeah. Or just listen to this BNB podcast or
thank you.
Or other coaches or other
that's what this is
community members, and listen to their stories and see how are they actually going. Like if you live in Sydney, for example, start messaging people in Sydney and just ask like, how are they actually going? Like, do they go as well as you thought they would, for example, which is what I was doing at the start as well.
Yeah, brilliant.
All is going well.
Well, I'm so glad that you were able to come on and share your story, and especially as someone who watches the podcast. Great example. Right true. Here. And and I'm so glad that you have watched them and you said it's been really helpful. I appreciate all that feedback, because this is why we do this, I think it's great to be able to hear people's stories, real people with real stories of how they've been working, or maybe they're backpacking for 8 months and have decided to start their own Airbnb business, and off to a great start. And what's the future plans for you? Like, you're hoping to get to a certain number?
Hopefully 3 by the end of this year, and then next year I think I'm just going to keep going at this kind of pace of, I like 1 every 2 months.
That's been Rohan and his story, and thank you again for watching and listening, and I hope that I know that this story would have been inspirational for you. If you're thinking about getting started in Airbnb, just do it. Take a step forward and make the decision. But don't forget to like, subscribe and follow, and share this episode with anyone you know who's interested in getting started in Airbnb. Thank you.